Hello and welcome to a special video presentation on establishing paternity. Now, as a new parent, I know you're facing all sorts of new responsibilities and choices, but believe me, none are more important than establishing the role you will play in your child's life. Now, if you are considering marriage now that you have a baby to think about, there are all sorts of good reasons to do so, like the fact that research shows that children with two full-time involved and committed parents usually have better health, are less likely to get involved with drugs or get into other kinds of trouble. They also usually do better in school and are more likely to go on to college and get a higher status job, not to mention having a better relationship with their father. All things all of us want for our children. Now, while deciding to get married may be the best thing you can do for yourselves as a couple and as a family, there is something else that you can do immediately to begin building a healthy relationship with your child, and that is establishing paternity. Now, as unwed parents, keep in mind that the father is not automatically considered the legal father of the child. For your new baby to have a legal father, you will need to establish paternity. And this video is designed to help you understand the choices available to you now that you have a baby and answer some questions you may have, like what paternity is, describe the benefits of paternity for your child, show you how easy it is to establish paternity, and what to do if you're still not sure. And we'll also discuss what else you can do to make sure your baby has two parents, a mother and a father, who will always be there for him or her, something all of us want for our children.
Are you want to go, huh? You want to run?
1 minute, my biggest worry was what I was going to do on Saturday night. And then my girlfriend has a baby, and I got all this pressure on me.
My sister had a kid and moved in with my mom for help, but I don't want to rely on her to raise my child for me.
Well, I just never got around to signing a paternity form. And now because of that, I don't even have the legal right to visit my own son.
Not having my dad around, there was definitely something missing in my life. You know, I had my mom, my sisters, my friends, but there was definitely a part of me missing. You know, I'm not gonna let that happen to my son.
Meet Mark, Janet, and Brian. Like most new parents, they all face the same confusing mixture of joy, fear, and uncertainty that comes with the birth of a new baby. As unmarried parents, they also faced a critical question: how to protect their baby's future. Whether or not you are considering marriage, one thing you can do for your baby right away is to make sure he or she has a legal father by voluntarily establishing your child's paternity, ideally right at the hospital. Paternity is the same thing as legal fatherhood. Establishing paternity, or legal fatherhood, is the process of establishing a legal relationship between a father and his child. When a child is born to married parents, both the father's and mother's names are automatically entered on the child's birth certificate. But in cases when parents are not married, only the mother's name is added to the child's birth certificate until the man has established legal fatherhood, or paternity. The easiest way to do this is for both parents to voluntarily sign a paternity acknowledgement form right at the hospital. Then, if you're considering marriage, you can request information about any premarital advice and counseling services that may be available in your area to help you build a long-lasting and healthy marital relationship.
When Stephanie was born, I was living with my boyfriend, so I just assumed that since we lived together that he would automatically be considered the father. But the truth is, when you have a baby and you're not married, the man is not considered the legal parent, even if you live together.
Mark faced a similar problem. He became a father at the age of 19 with his girlfriend at the time. At 26, he's in danger of never seeing his 7-year-old son again.
Yeah, I mean, we were planning on getting married, but I lost my job and, you know, things just fell apart. We broke up. And because I didn't establish paternity then, now I gotta go to court and get the right to see my own son.
As unmarried parents, both Mark and Janet would have benefited by signing the voluntary paternity acknowledgement form. Why? Because signing the form creates a legal relationship between the father and child. What this does is grant the child the same legal rights as a child born within a marriage. Voluntarily acknowledging paternity is fast, easy, and free, and you don't have to go to court. The benefits are numerous for both parents as well as the child.
You know, when you're young, you don't think about things like health insurance and Social Security benefits. You know, I saw what happened with my mom raising me, and I want to make sure that my son is protected.
Brian is one of thousands of fathers all across the country that voluntarily acknowledges paternity each year. But just how does acknowledging paternity help protect your child? Consider these examples.
My son needed a bone marrow transplant when he was only a year old. And my boyfriend and I, we never got married, but because we signed the paternity form, the doctor was able to get the information from Dave, my ex-boyfriend, on his medical history. Turned out Dave could be the donor, and that saved my son's life.
Even though my mom and I aren't together anymore, I still try to see my daughter Amy as much as I can. Her mom recently lost her job, lost her medical insurance. And she was really worried because Amy has asthma. She needs a lot of medical care. But since I'd signed the paternity form, that made me legally the father. So we were able to get Amy covered under my medical insurance. It's not something that you think about when your baby's first born, but now I'm so glad that I signed it.
5 years after we broke up, my boyfriend was killed. Because he signed a paternity form, our daughter was entitled to his Social Security benefits. And she inherited some money, too.